Hello again, I'm Wes, and this is another tutorial video for Trial Vault. In this video I'm going to talk about how you can set up versatility awards, also called high point awards, that are computed across your entire trial, and they just rank the dogs based on some criteria that you set up. So let's get started. So I'm going to assume that you have your class list set up already, and maybe you and cross-entry rules configured and all of that. So we're just going to go right into the versatility awards here. And if you copied your event from a template, there'll probably be some template awards in here just to show you how they're set up, because it is a little bit complicated. It takes a little bit to get your head around, I should say, much like the cross-entry rules. So I'll just go into this template here, this down-to-earth JRT award. And we have a name up here. The first thing you want to do if you're going to use this particular award, just remove the word template from the name, because you don't want attendees to see that in the description. And you can change the description here if you want to give attendees more information on how the award is computed. And then there's this first section, filters. So this is much like the class filters in the class list. It just controls what dogs can enter this versatility award or this high point. And usually you're not going to set too many of them. Maybe you have some senior or veteran awards, so you might want to restrict the age, maybe height. But all I've put in here is just the breed has to be a Jack Russell Terrier, because this is a JRT award. If you leave the breed blank, the breed filter won't be applied at all, so it will allow all breeds of dogs to enter too, if you want to do it that way. Or you can just include the specific breeds that you would like. You can also select if the dog, if you're going to require the dogs to have a particular type of certificate as well. This next section, you select the categories of classes for which the award is computed over. So any category that appears in here, if a class belongs to that category, it will be factored into computing this award. So it just lets you restrict or narrow the award type to specific events. So maybe you just want to have earth events in here, or racing events, or lure coursing, or just a specific division. You can do that. And now we get to the computation section. I think everything's been pretty straightforward up to here. Here you might have to spend a minute and try to think about how is this being computed. So we have two main controls here. We have a group by and a summing method. Group by will just, for each dog, it will create a bunch of groups based on what the dog is entered in. For example, if we have for a particular dog and we select division, it will create groups of placements by division. So that is, and by division I mean level 2 in the class list. So we have days, divisions, and sections. So if you go into a level 2 depth in your class list, all the awards will be grouped by those sections in there. So we might have racing, go to ground, and other events, and the awards will be grouped there. And then among those groups, the summing method controls how we get a score for each group. So we'll take, in this case, if we select top 1, it will just select the maximum, the highest ranked placement. And I'll show you how to assign points to placements down below. That's pretty straightforward. But that's what that does. There's a number of examples here to try to clarify this. So for example, if you set group by today and summing method is top 2, we'll add each dog's highest 2 placements within each day of the event. And by day it's going to be those sections that you have in your class list that are at the top. They're not in that kind of file structure tree. They're at the top of that, is what I mean by day, and division is 1 down. I think more useful are these division categories or maybe actually class category might be the most useful, because it will group into the placements into the categories you have set at the class level. So you might want to do that. Another example of group by is set to division, and summing method is top one. Then we'll add each dog's highest placement within each division of the event. You could achieve a similar functionality if you just set that to class category. And you can set group by to none, actually, and summing method to all. Then we'll just add up all placements for the dogs based on the point mapping below. So let's get to the point mapping. So essentially this is just a table here where we have a rank and a points assigned to that rank. It's loaded, it's pre-populated in here with all the common ranks. So you have champion, reserve best, and first through sixth. And you just decide, well, what kind of points are you going to award to a dog if they receive this placement in a class. And you can set that however you'd like. I have some samples in here, but again, it's up to you how you set that. And last in the table is just participation. How many points should a dog get when they participate? If you leave these blank, they won't contribute to anything. I think there's some blank slots in here because you can select high in class, reserve high in class, and qualified. But if those don't apply to your trial, then you don't need to fill them in. So that's how you create a versatility award. I'll just go ahead and save that, and it shows up here with the template removed. Any of these that you're not using, you're going to want to delete, because otherwise people will be able to enter their dogs into them. So I'll remove these two. I found that some people also use these versatility awards. They'll just set up the filters and let dogs enter. Excuse me. But they won't actually have it compute in TrialVault. They'll have attendees let it compute. They'll have attendees compute it themselves. So if you want to use it that way, you can do it that way as well. So that's how you set up versatility awards. Stay tuned for some more tutorials.